So, good morning, friends. I again welcome you back in this class of video lecture, and this is Dr. Anant Dadhich from Department of English, MLB Government College, Vilvada, and this is the class of MA Previous English Literature, and we have been taking paper 2, that's of poetry, and for last couple of days we are doing John Donne's poems. So we have already done the flea, and we have also done a valediction forbidding morning, and last week we took a very famous poem, a very spiritual poem, a very thought-provoking poem, The Good Morrow. The title of the poem is The Good Morrow. So it is a poem about spiritual awakening. It is a poem about self-realization. It is a poem about self-revelation, and it is a poem of that aesthetic approach when the souls uh, find the true objective of the life, and then both the lover and the beloved move forward on the path of love and finally reach the destination, and that destination is canonization. That destination is to enter the domain of that transcendental state where both the lover and the beloved become one. They are not two, they become one. As this theme has been expressed in one of the famous poems, The Canonization. Students, that poem is not in your course, is not in the syllabi, but still I recommend that poem for you, since that poem canonization is to be read in connection with the good morning. So friends, in the very first stanza of this poem, the lover expresses his wonder as to what he and his beloved did before they fell in love with each other. This is the first line of the poem. I wonder by my troth. So, in the very first line, there has been a sense of surprise, there has been a sense of wondering what did they do till they met each other. He regards their former pleasure as childish and rustic, and their former life as a long sleep in which they were as oblivious of the reality of life as the seven sleepers were during their long step of 200 years duration. So he divides, the lover divides the entire his entire life into two parts. The first part, which was as childish, as dull, as insignificant as the life of the seven sleepers as depicted in the mythology. So the all seven sleepers were not aware of the world, were not aware of the occurrings of the world, right? And they were oblivious of the reality of life, just as the lover was quite oblivious of the reality of life, and he was wasting his life and time in childish and rustic pleasures. In comparison with their pleasure in the love of each other, all their previous pleasures seem unsubstantial and unreal. Such is the conclusion of the lover, that whatever pleasures he derived so far from life before meeting the beloved were all unsubstantial and unreal. Other beautiful women whom he loved. So, and you see, this part is very significant of the poem, that the lover confesses that he loved many women before meeting beloved. Right? He admits this truth, this confession, this realization, this honesty, makes one purified. And in the love relationship, in the in this relationship, where honesty is everything, where confession is everything, the poet says that other beautiful woman whom he loved and whose love he could get, now what is his realization, what is his approach now? He says, now seem to him is mere visions or reflections of the beauty of his present beloved. Whatever woman he had, they were mere visions or reflections before the beauty of his present beloved. That's why he says in the poem, if ever any beauty I did see, which I desired and got, it was but a dreams of thee. This is important. So, uh, this is the thought of the first stanza. Now I read the second stanza of the poem. And now, good morrow to our waking souls. Now the lover bids good morning to the waking souls, right? And now, good morrow to our waking souls, which watch not one another out of fear. He bids good morning to their waking souls, souls which have woken from a long sleep devoid of love. For love, all love of other sides controls and makes one little room and everywhere. Their souls are now waking into a world of love, and he bids their souls are now waking into a world of love and watching each other bewitched by love, not by fear. Love is the supreme sentiment of this love relationship. Love is an emotion powerful enough to control and channelize the individual's perception, compelling it to observe nothing but love. It can transform a room into an entire world for this lover, for the lover can think of nothing except his beloved. That's why again I repeat some of the lines from the second stanza so that you can better understand. And now, good morrow to our waking souls. The poet bids, the poet says, speaks, let us bid good morning to our waking souls, which watch not one another out of fear. For love, all love of other sides controls and makes one little room and everywhere. Let sea discoverers to new worlds have gone. Let maps to others, worlds on worlds have shone. Let us possess our world. Each hath one and is one. So in these lines, the lover says that let the discoverers may go and search for new lands. Map makers may chart new areas. But for the lovers, there is no world other than their world of love, which they are eager to possess. For the lovers, the world is circumscribed to the extent of each other's personality, and even these two distinct worlds coalesce and merge into each other. So, this is the meaning of the second stanza, and in the last two stanzas, in the last two lines of the second stanza, we may come across about the contemporary progress of science and technology. This is 17th century England. So it was a time when there was a race among sea discoverers, uh, among among those who used to prepare or chart new areas, map makers, right? It was an age of discovery, it was an age of invention, it was an age of empirical method of science, right? So again I repeat these two lines. Let's see discoverers to new worlds have gone. The poet says, how are we concerned with the progress of science and technology? We are not concerned with the world where there has been a competition among sea discoverers, right? Among those who undertake journeys and voyages, let maps to others' worlds on worlds have shone. It was a time when people discovered many new countries and islands, the North Pole, the South Pole, the America, the India, right? Let us purchase, but he is confined to their own world. The lover is confined to their own world and says, let us purchase our world. Each one hath and is one. We both belong to this world. We do have our own world. We both of us belong to this world, right? My face in thine eye, thine in my appears, and true plain hearts do in the faces rest. So this is the beginning of the third stanza, and we shall continue from tomorrow onwards. Thank you, friends.